Hi everyone, it's Justin Harrison and welcome to Compensation 101. It's an honor to be with you today and take just a few minutes and talk about what we do in doTERRA and how we do it and more, how we're compensated for what we do. Ultimately, in doTERRA, our mission is to create an experience and to provide education and to help people learn how we use the doTERRA product, to share that with others via sampling or classes or a one-on-one environment, or maybe hosting different kinds of events, ultimately to develop leadership within our teams and then to repeat or duplicate this entire process. Now, throughout the next few minutes, as we talk about how we're compensated, you're going to see what's called a Presidential Diamond Tip, a PDT. These are just little bite-sized morsels of wisdom from some of our presidential diamonds to keep in mind as we are focusing on building our doTERRA business. So the first PDT is to focus on their needs, meaning focus on the needs of the new folks that are just getting started when it comes to which products they start with. It's not about what we want them to buy, it's about what their needs are. And so focus on their needs is PDT number one. Okay, let's zoom out and look at the entire picture here for Compensation 101. First, when someone has had an experience and they're ready to get started with the company and they're ready to set up their own wholesale membership, they're going to come here to the enrollment page online and click to join as a new independent product consultant. And the first box they're going to see is an enroller and sponsor. Now, likely if you have sent them to your own personal website, these will already be filled in, so you won't have to worry about that. But let's just clarify what enroller and sponsor mean. Here's an example. If I were to enroll Teresa, which I did actually, then I would be Teresa's sponsor and her enroller should I leave her there as one of my frontline associates. Now, an example of where sponsor and enroller could be different, let's say that I met Sarah, and Sarah is someone in Arizona, and let's say Teresa lives in Arizona as well. And so I may choose to sponsor Sarah under Teresa so they can have mutual support because they're in the same area, or just to help support Teresa's team. But I maintain the enroller. I keep the enroller because it is me that actually introduced her to the company. And so the tip here, the PDT here, is always keep the enroller of those you introduce to doTERRA. There is a time when it is appropriate to give those away, and your support team, your leadership team will make sure that you're aware of when that is appropriate and beneficial to do so. Okay, so that's enroller and sponsor. Now let's jump into the 5 different ways that we're compensated, and you can see them outlined here from retail all the way up through the top of the leadership pools. So retail is very simply this: we buy our product at wholesale. There's a suggested markup of about 25%. And so anytime that someone buys, it makes a retail purchase from us either personally or via our website, then there's a 25% profit that comes directly to us in the form of a retail commission. And so regardless of what the product is we sell, in this example it's an On Guard toothpaste, 25% would come our direction. And that is retail. The second way we're compensated, and this is the first check that you typically see from doTERRA, is called Fast Start. And how that works, if this is you right here, the person that I'm circling right here on the screen, and you earn 20% off of any new wholesale member that you introduce to the company, a new IPC, independent product consultant. So anytime you introduce a new wholesale member, anything they buy, for a 60-day window, you earn 20% off of that purchase. And then whoever enrolled you earns 10, and whoever enrolled them earns 5. And so it's a 20-10-5 that comes to you each and every week based on the new purchases of new members in your team. Now there's some must-know fine print for this. I mentioned 60 days, so when a new member enrolls, for that first 60-day window that they're a member, their orders are paid to you in that Fast Start system that we just talked about. After that, it changes into the Unilevel, which we'll talk about here in a moment. Now, very important here, line 3, you must have at least 100 PV LRP order to play in the Fast Start game. And I'll explain that in just a moment. And then the qualifying period runs from Monday to Sunday, meaning every Wednesday the company calculates the commission for the prior Monday through Sunday and calculates the check. And so this is a weekly bonus that comes to us each and every week. Now, let's talk about loyalty rewards, because loyalty rewards are critical. You must participate in loyalty rewards, just like we talked about, to earn this bonus. What is loyalty rewards? This is our version, if you will, of a frequent flyer program. It is the company's way of giving us free product in exchange for our loyalty of ordering each and every month. So free product credits, if you will. It starts out at about a 10% return each month in our first 3 months of participating in loyalty rewards. And then every 3 months after that, you can see that it increases by 5 until you max out at 30%. And so this is like getting a 30% rebate, if you will, on your own product order each and every month in the form of product credits that you can spend just like cash to redeem for free products. Now, there is a shortcut here. Most of us in doTERRA started at the 10% and had to work our way all the way up to the 30 after a whole year. There is some shortcuts available now where you can actually start at the 15, the 20, or the 25 by enrolling with a larger package when you first set up your membership with doTERRA. So talk with the person that invited you to view this and ask for details about that program if you have an interest in getting started at a little higher percentage than just the 10. So the presidential diamond tip here is keep your loyalty rewards order at 150 PV or more, and always process this order prior to the 15th. Now, here's why. If you do your order before the 15th of the month and it's at least 125 PV, then you receive whatever the free product of the month is from the company. Each month, the company gives away a product ranging from typically $10 to $15 in value, just automatically free in your order as a thank you for doing that in the first half of the month. It has to be 125 PV. But I have 150 PV here, and the reason for that correlates to this next bonus, which is called the $1,500 bonus or the Power of 3 bonus. The Power of 3 bonus is our simple duplication model. What we're looking for is to identify 3 partners or business builders who will commit to doing loyalty rewards of at least 100 PV each month and are going to commit to doing the business with us. Now, any month that we have this structure in place that you see here, everyone doing at least 100. Now, we teach 150 because, as you see there on the right, there's a 600 team volume requirement. So that would be an average of 150 each if there's only 4 of us pictured there to meet that requirement. And any month that you have this in place, it generates a $50 bonus to you. And so that would be our first step. The second step is now to help our 3 business partners duplicate that exact same process and find their 3 people. And once that has been achieved, each of them are earning the $50 bonus, and your monthly bonus now jumps to $250. So this is where it starts to get a little more exciting, because now you're covering your own purchases and are in a positive cash flow area. And then we go to work helping our blue folks achieve their $250 bonus. So it's going to look something like this, and then your bonus becomes $1,500 monthly. And so this can become a significant part of your monthly income by helping to support these leaders and build in this system. Now, the tip for the Power of 3 bonus is actually, we talk about needing 3. It's a good idea to have 4. Just because if you have a 4th, then you have some redundancy, you have an extra, just in case if something happens with one of the other 3, maybe they can't order that month or whatever the reason, that you have a backup, if you will. And so that is important, since this is a structural bonus, to keep that in mind. So moving from the 1,500 Power of 3 bonus to our very lucrative Unilevel income. This is called the Unilevel bonus. You can see all of the pin titles listed at the top, from consultant all the way through to presidential diamond. and the monthly qualifications. In fact, it's good to note that PV is all of the volume that we generate, our personal volume, all of our customers, any preferred members that we have, that's PV. And OV is the combined total of all the PV in our entire organizations. And so it's everyone in the entire team combined together. So just some terms that are good to know there. And you can see that as your OV grows from the beginning to 500, you become a manager, 1,000 director, 2,000 executive, 3,000 elite, 5,000 premier. And after premier, you'll notice it goes away. And now the focus is strictly on helping our leaders in our team to have growth and to build. Let's talk about how these numbers work. You see all those 2s and 3s and 5s and 6s and 7s, and it gets kind of scary when you first look at it, and it reminds many of us of high school math and our brains shut off. So thank heavens for supercomputers, right? Anytime a purchase is made at doTERRA of a product, the computer says, okay, I need to pay 2% of that purchase to someone. Who is it? And it finds that person. And then it says, I need to pay 3% to someone. Who is it? And then it does the same with the 5, the 6, 6, and 7, so that all of these percentages are paid out to someone in the support team. And so this is called compression. We also have something called dynamic compression, which long story short basically means that any team members that might be in the structure that are not qualifying or not ordering will not occupy percentages or earn percentages that they were that they shouldn't be getting. All of this is paid to those folks who are actively working the business and ordering on the monthly basis. And so that's dynamic compression. Every single percentage is paid out to someone. So this is a huge benefit for you and I. Let me just go back to this screen really quickly. I just want to mention something about the percentages here on the right. Notice that they start out very small and they get bigger. This is the opposite of how most companies have their structure set up. Most commission structures out there in the marketplace, the bigger number is on the top, and then they get smaller and smaller as you grow in depth. The reality is that looks nicer on paper, but doesn't work as well in reality, because on our front line, there's only ever going to be a small number of people. And then that group will grow and grow and grow until you get into those bottom levels where there's a lot of people. And so in doTERRA, we are grateful that in those levels 5, 6, and 7 are the higher percentages. It is a huge benefit and a competitive advantage to those of us in the doTERRA business. Okay, so the presidential diamond tip for our unilevel structure is focus on first becoming elite and then creating elites. Now, if you recall, what is an elite? An elite is someone who has $3,000 in OV in their entire team. So $3,000 wholesale in sales in their entire team will make them what's called an elite. So that's the first focus right there. Now, once you are an elite, you focus on creating 3 elites in your own team, which makes you a silver. And then once you're a silver, help those elites to become silver as well. And when you have 4 silvers, you become a diamond. And diamond is where it starts to get really fun. That's where the fun money is, we call it. Very, very exciting things start to happen at that rank and beyond, as you'll see here in a few minutes. So that's the power and effectiveness of the Unilevel bonus. Now, let's jump to the final way we're compensated. This is called the leadership pools. Every month, the company takes 6% of the total worldwide global revenue, and they share it. We take 2% and split it between all of the silver, golds, and platinums in the company. And so if you're a silver, you get one little share, if you will, one piece of that 2%. If you're a gold, you get 5. If you're a platinum, you get 10. And so as you increase in rank, you get a bigger percentage of the 2%. And once you get to diamond and above, the percentages are a little higher. All of the diamonds share 1%, as you can see there. So a diamond gets 1 piece of the 1%, and the blue diamonds get 2, and the presidentials get 3 of that mutually shared 1%. And then where some really nice bonus money are in these pools that you see here at the bottom. So there's 1% here just for the diamonds, and 1% just for the blue diamonds only, and 1% just for the presidential diamonds only. So what's really exciting about these bonuses is they allow us to be compensated on the growth of doTERRA worldwide, not just your own personal team. Now, obviously, you're going to be paid more on your team than anyone else's team, but because of these leadership pools, you do share in the overall growth of the company, even in all the foreign markets, any country in the world. And so these are pretty exciting additions to our checks. Let's talk about checks. Let's talk about numbers. Let's get right to the brass tacks and talk about the potential is of working a doTERRA business. Now, these numbers are recently released. They're based on August of this year, 2013, showing the average income for people at the various different ranks. We'll start at Premier. So the average income at Premier, $862 a month. This, by the way, does include all of the bonuses. And so there's your Premier average. At Silver, we talk a lot about Silver. Silver is a critical rank. It's the real first leadership position. So just over $2,000 a month there. Jumping to Gold, you go up to about $4,300. Now, you might already see a little bit of a pattern forming here. It looks like I can detect one, especially when you make the jump to Platinum, and you see the average being over $8,000 there. Then we can jump to Diamond, and what might you suspect? Again, doubling, over $16,000 a month at the Diamond rank. As I mentioned, this is where the fun money starts. And then Blue Diamond, almost doubling again to $31,000, and then Presidential Diamond almost tripling to over $91,000 a month. And so these are actual figures, actual numbers based on August of 2013 throughout the entire company of doTERRA worldwide. So I share these with you so you can see the potential. Now, this is residual income. It is not passive income. Passive income is something that is like an investment where you buy an investment and you hope that it goes up in value, but really you have no bearing or say-so on whether it increases in value or not. That's passive income. This is residual income. It requires you to work. It requires effort and energy, but as it builds and as it grows and as it becomes large, it will residually, on a monthly basis, provide a positive cash flow for you as you grow and support your organization and your teams. So I would hope that as you look at these numbers, you realize that these are income potentials that are real, and that if this is something you would like to pursue, meet with your support team, meet with your leaders, and create a plan on how to achieve the rank that is your goal, and we'll do everything we can to help you as well to achieve that, and we look forward to hearing about your success in coming months and years.